Hey first graders, today we're going to be drawing an ice cream cone with a couple of scoops of your favorite flavors of ice cream. All you need is a piece of paper and a pencil, but if you have a Sharpie or a marker and you want to outline it, you can. And if you would like to color it in with crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever you have, you can do that too. All right, let's get started. All right. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the top for my cherry, and then I'm going to put my scoops of ice cream kind of in this area. So for my first scoop, I'm going to draw most of a circle, like that. I left the bottom of it blank because I want to have my ice cream just a little bit drippy. So to do the drips, I'm just gonna do a curved line down and up and down and up. And I'm trying to make sure they don't all look exactly the same. And I also wanna make sure they're not too small. Otherwise it'll look like a ruffle instead of drips. Okay, and then I went over a little bit here, so I'm just gonna erase that. For my next scoop, I'm going to start right here for the first drip on the left side, and I'm going to curve down, and I'm going to try to make it about the same size as this scoop. So I'll stop right there, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And try to make it stop the same place that that stops. And I'm going to draw some more drips. I think I want 3 scoops of ice cream, so I'm just going to repeat that step one more time. Okay, and then for the waffle cone, I'm just going to do a tall V shape. Like that. For the cherry, I'm going to draw that shape, kind of an oval with a curved stem. And I think I want some hot fudge on mine, so I'm going to draw the same kind of drips up here to show that my hot fudge is kind of running down my ice cream. And if you want your ice cream to have any other toppings like sprinkles, you can draw them in, or like if your ice cream has a filling like mint chocolate chip, you can draw in those little details. Usually the chocolate chips in mint chocolate chip are like little rectangles or squares. I'm going to make this one cherry flavored ice cream, so I'm going to draw little cherry blobs. Usually in cherry flavored ice cream, the cherries are in halves or like in little pieces. So I'm just drawing them kind of as different sized little blobs. Okay, and then for my last scoop of ice cream, I'm going to have it be maple walnut. So I'll draw the little nuts, little pieces of nuts in here. And for the cone, I'm going to draw diagonal lines in one direction. I'm trying to space them out so they're not too close together. And if I come to a drip and it's in the way, I'm just going to pick up my pencil, go to the other side of the drip, and then continue. And once I've filled it up with diagonal lines going in one direction, I'm going to do my diagonal lines going in the other direction. Again, trying to space them out so they don't get too close together. And I have a little spot right here where my cherry overlaps with the top of my ice cream where the hot fudge is. So I'm just going to erase that right there. All right, so the drawing portion is done. If you want to outline it, you absolutely can. I like to outline just because when I color, sometimes the crayons or the markers can kind of cover up some of my details. So I'm going to use this double-sided Sharpie. I'll use the thick end for most of it, but I'm going to switch to the skinny end for small details such as the chocolate chips, the nuts and the cherry pieces, the stem, and the pattern on my waffle cone. I'm just going to take my eraser and I'm going to kind of clean up any spots where my Sharpie and my pencil didn't quite meet. So this will get rid of my extra pencil marks and it'll make my drawing look a little bit neater. So I'm going to color mine with crayon, but you can leave yours black and white if you want, or if you want to color it with something else, that's absolutely okay. So I'm going to start with the cherry, and I want to test out my color first. I'm going to test it on my placemat, and I think that will work pretty well for a cherry. So I'm going to leave just a little sliver of my cherry white, like that, to make it look like it's really shiny, because that's the light reflecting on the cherry. So just that little section is gonna stay white. Okay. Do a green stem. And color my hot fudge brown. And to help it look a little more realistic, I'm going to color a little harder under the cherry. Press down like that, just to make it look like there's a little shadow underneath. Okay. And then for my mint chocolate chip, actually I still need that brown. Usually chocolate chips are a pretty dark brown, so I'm going to press really hard. Okay. And then I think the green that I want is actually the one that rolled away. Okay. Actually, I don't know. Let me test it out. No, never mind. That's too light. I think I want this green. And just like I did with the cherry, I'm gonna press just a little harder around the hot fudge area just to make it look a little shadowy there. Okay, for my cherry ice cream, I'm gonna use all the same crayon for all of the cherry ice cream, but for the cherry blobs, I'm just gonna press a little harder. For the actual ice cream, I'll go really softly. So even with the same crayon, you can get it to look pretty different just depending on how hard you press. Okay, go a little harder up here near the drips on top. Maybe a little on the side too. Okay, and for the maple walnut, I actually have a peach colored crayon. I might use that for the ice cream, but I'll use the brown for the little walnut pieces. A little harder near the top. I think I might actually maybe mix just a little bit of brown into here just because this peach is so light. Let's see, I'm gonna press really softly. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, and then for the cone, I'm going to use my brown. Press nice and soft. And press a little harder up near the drips. Maybe I'll press a little harder on the side too, since I did that with my ice cream. And I'm all set.